Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian Espinal, and joining me, as always, my partner in crime, it is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris?
Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
Yeah, man, it's been a minute since it was just the duo.
Yeah.
But sadly, Brian couldn't make it. He had a very noble duty.
Yeah, Edgelord Big News, Brian, is taking care of the youngest of our family, our young dog Lucas, who sustained an injury today, and going to the vet. So while he's handling that business, we decided to get on the mic and bring you guys the show that we all so love so much. But let's get into it. Let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. And that's on Instagram as well, guys.
Oh, hell yeah. You can follow Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Also follow his stream whenever he does it. I don't know. He's not good at publicizing his stream. He should be. But you could find it at twitch.tv/itspunchline. All one word. Look that up. He plays tactical RPG shooters. So if you're interested in that, go for it. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially because we do a weekly RGC poll. I put the one for this week up today because I forgot. So
it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, but I do have the results for this week's RGC here. It should be done by now. So I'll be reading them off at the end of the show, or not at the end, or wherever the relevant series, the one that won, is going to be at. So join us on there. Vote for whoever you want, mostly Black Clover. I almost called it Black Trigger. But yeah, all right. I think that's it. With that being said, let's get into the show proper. Before we begin, let's get into one-shots. For those of you who are new to the party, this is the segment where we kind of just talk about the things that we don't usually talk about on the show. Like quick summarizations, I guess, of the books that we are reading, but we don't talk about usually. Manga, anime we've been watching, whatever. I want to give a shout out to Nightwing. We're not going to cover it in full this week, but it is the return of Nightwing by one of my favorite writers, if not probably my favorite, like just straight up writer in comics right now, besides maybe, I guess, second only to like Chip Zdarsky. I don't know.
Tom Taylor?
Yeah, Tom Taylor.
Whoa.
Hopefully he picks up he takes up Nightwing and doesn't leave it after 8 issues like he's done in the past with other books like Suicide Squad and Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and stuff like that. I loved his Injustice run and I've been a fan ever since. So and he doesn't disappoint here. I mean, it is just the first issue still. It's still very early days, but it's very like old classic Nightwing. Nightwing stories for me personally, whenever they're good, I find them to be very good. Nightwing is one of my favorites, so it's always cool to see a character that I like written well. It basically kind of goes back to basics a little bit with Nightwing. He owns this apartment complex that is getting a little harder to fund now that Bruce is broke, so he's got to find alternate ways of doing it. But fear not. Apparently, Alfred left him a ton of fucking money in order to be able to do that. So it works out in the end. Yeah, a little bit of a recommendation. You guys should check it out if you're a fan of Nightwing and have been put off by the saga that is Rick Grayson. Like I have. I say go for it.
Mr. Rick Grayson.
Mr. Rick.
Let me tell you something. We before we started the podcast, I don't know. I have issues. one of these issues is that I had to like go hard about something that I feel like is being made a big deal of. That's being presented as, oh, everyone should know what this is. So basically in comics, when I met with these foreign things,
Mm-hmm.
that's not recognizable to me, but I feel like I should be able to recognize everything. I catch an attitude, and I project, and I take it out. Like the area that Nightwing, the very infamous
Bloodhaven.
and much known to everybody in the comic book world and to casual fans alike. Yes, Bloodhaven.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the boy from Bloodhaven.
Yeah. I think that's all on the books that I have been reading. The Justice League Snyder Cut came out today. We're not going to talk about it today because I haven't watched it, neither has Josh. So maybe next week, on next week's One Shots, we'll give it a second and talk about it. I do want to mention that I've been also watching Attack on Titan season 4. Bro, it's so good. I've been having a great time. I've been watching it dubbed because I'm a heathen. I'm a godless heathen that doesn't watch subs often. So, yeah, in any case, that's where I'm at with it. Huge fan of it. If you haven't watched Attack on Titan, I suggest you get on it because it's highly recommended on my end as well. But, yeah, I guess that's all for One Shots. Let's get into the show proper. It is time to randomize.
Bloody Cross.
Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck, Chapter 55, Use Your Rules. Last we left off, Unjustice Juice has gone off to meet Billy and try to strike up a deal with him, but he was like, no, I need the Ark, and I'm not going to give it up. So basically, they're now fighting for the UMA known as Winter to see who is going to take the head and complete the mission, because both of them really need Winter. So, yeah, Billy has the UMA known as Burn, and Juice has Spoil. So that's pretty cool. We find out how she recruited Spoil into the fight. She apparently just forced him to do it. She looked down at him and was like, "You will be lending
extreme violence."
Mm-hmm. He's like, Billy is going to be using Burn, so I'll need you to keep Burn in place. So yeah, she's basically like, I have no qualms about taking out a rule like you. So because you're Spoil, and who needs you?
Right? That we could all live forever.
Yeah. And it's funny, we cut back to the present, and she tells him straight up, is like, you're at a disadvantage against Burn. We just need you to buy time for the operation. And
bitch, I'm what? You said what about my out of here?
And it's funny because it's like he does
a beam. Attitude immediately, yo.
Yeah, he does a beam at Burn, and it just goes straight through him, and Burn just punches him in the face. Just rocks his fucking life.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. So Billy and Juice get into it. She fucking deflects these bullets that Billy shoots at her with his dual pistols.
With incredible precision.
Yeah,
mind you.
I like how how the panel is drawn in particular for whatever reason. I like that panel a lot. It just looks cool.
Cause she made a vertical and horizontal slash.
Yeah, she went.
It wasn't just simple deflection. She slashed them away, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty lit.
Yeah. So the battle continues.
He said that she deflected them, but whatever.
Yeah, she did deflect them.
You can see deflect, but really, she aggressively did it. All right.
Yeah, she does these slashes. It's a slash. She slashes them.
It's a slash.
Yeah.
Slashu.
So she uses her Unjust to make Burn protect her, which is pretty cool. I still don't super understand how Unjustice works. I guess
it just makes you do the opposite of what you
wanted to do,
really want to do, and what you believe in, like down to the core.
Yeah,
you know
I guess if Burn's justice is to let Juice die in that moment, his Unjustice would be to protect Juice in that moment. So fucking. I mean, not at all a thing. I love how
It's a
creative.
strong ability. It just makes you flip your whole intentions.
Yeah, I love how creative this story gets with its powers, but it could use a little bit of a Jujutsu Kaisen magic when it comes to explaining, like in further detail, how powers specifically work.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit more the
Yeah,
I can't even say Black Clover route because they try a little bit. They really do.
I guess.
Like the Dragon Ball Z route or something. I don't know, man. I don't want to compare it like that.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
I mean,
it's
just super. It's just super. I don't want to say vague, but
That was the first word that came to my mind too, man. Damn.
yeah, I still feel like vague is the wrong word for it.
It's just not a style. It's not. I mean, that's it. I've accepted that already.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought about Black Clover first, because I thought they could have been way more in depth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more complex.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just not the flow.
Yeah,
this one is just a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's still creative.
Okay. So while their battle continues, just the fucking sky opens up, and it turns out like I don't know, like I guess God splits. It just God just opens up, and he's like, oh, he's apparently God opens the sky and is like, and communicates to S.W.O.R.D that I want to meet them at least once. So I don't know. I guess like God's like, come at me, bro. Basically.
Oh, I understand what's going on. No. This is actually you'll figure it out once I think about it. Look what he's doing. He's raising his hand in that direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they? In the middle of a blizzard and snowstorm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's the Uma burn.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearing through all of the snow and the ice and the clouds and making a clearing in the sky so the sun can pierce through. He's doing that as an abstraction of.
Oh.
It's actually really.
So it's Burn
really
being
beautiful.
like, I want to meet our maker. I guess.
Yeah, because it can't really talk, I guess, and S.W.O.R.D already understands that.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
I mean, I guess.
You know who S.W.O.R.D looks like? The Yu-Gi-Oh card. The skull one, man. Yugi used that nigga, man. Skull Fiend?
Man, I don't remember that intense Yu-Gi-Oh shit
God
from
damn it, man.
way back in the day.
To look that up. I'm gonna look that shit up right
That
now.
was a long time ago, dude.
Bro, oh man. I'm gonna hopefully if I find out the actual name it'll ring a bell. But anyways.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you with that in a moment.
Yeah. Apparently, like S.W.O.R.D doesn't really remember what God's like. He doesn't have any like childhood memories, which I guess imagine because he's literally a rule of the universe. But
yeah.
But he does remember that he got an order from God to say use your rules to make humans suffer. That's it. And then he just points his spoil beam directly at Billy, and Billy's like, you know what? Fuck this. Because it turns out S.W.O.R.D's actions, I guess, he rots the ground and causes an avalanche to come down on everybody. And in that moment, he just fucking snipes Billy's hand from afar with the spoil beam. And he starts to spoil like his entire body.
Spoil beam.
And that's
this guy. That's who S.W.O.R.D looks like.
Oh yeah, summon skull.
Yeah.
I think I actually used to have that card.
He's a fiend. Hell yeah, man! He came with the Yuki starter.
Summon skull.
That was lit. Yeah, man. Look, 2,500 to 10.
Yeah.
Only one sacrifice, man. I remember that shit. That's crazy. Man.
Jeez, I don't think I've ever won a game of Yu-Gi-Oh in my life.
Years.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of where the chapter ends. Is Billy is spoiling slowly, and Juice is like, "Why didn't you use my injustice? Why aren't you fighting like you mean it?" And that's where the chapter ends.
She's tight.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you want to die? Is that what this is? Are you sacrificing yourself for some bullshit?" But yeah, what a fun chapter. S.W.O.R.D is like the Buggy, the pirate of this series, where he's just like an early villain that's just kind of a goofball ally now. But yeah, overall fun chapter. It's kind of hard to tell where Billy's going with all this and why is because he seems so dead set on like winning, I guess, this battle. But now he's like kind of iffy about the situation. So yeah, excited to see what happens next.
He's half stepping, yo. I don't know what's up with Billy.
He's half stepping. Yeah, that's for sure. But in any case, I'm good to move on. Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Let's randomize.
Rocket to punch!
The X books, starting with S.W.O.R.D number 4. Wowee. This might be my RGC, VGI, honestly. Yeah.
Oh, TBH.
TBH. This is my VGI.
Certified VGI.
Because it had a very manga-esque tone to it, and I'll tell you what I mean when I get there. Because this was really cool. It starts off, I forget this lady's name. She's kind of new to me, so I don't really recall. But she's just floating in darkness. And all she hears is like a buzzing in her ears. Meanwhile, on the outside, Edith just got to Krakoa, where Symbiote Cable has just captured a bunch of the S.W.O.R.D and other various X-Men together. And he is talking major shit.
Oh, so much shit. I mean, if you look at the page, what you see is primarily red text bubbles, and those are all Symbiote Cable.
For real.
Talking the most shit.
Yeah.
As Chris said. He's like, I got all your homies cocooned up. And you is not even about that life either.
Yeah.
You're not an Omega mutant.
Basically.
You're a soft boy with a spear.
So
I'm a symbiote god.
I'm a symbiote
He's going in, man. He's going in. He's like, I'm the best, and you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, he even like continues onward with his shit talking where he's like, wait a minute, where's the one they called the Krakoan son? That's what they called him, the Krakoan son, quote unquote.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he just reduces them to he takes Fabian, who is a S.W.O.R.D member, and what's his face, Sunfire, and just reduces them to skeletons with ease. And I think he keeps Sunfire's mask on while he does it. And I'm like, damn, that's...
Well, I guess so we know for sure from the artist. But yeah, we'll keep it like that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, up at the S.W.O.R.D station, known as the Peak, Abigail Brand is very much just like, communicating with WizKid about the situation. And WizKid found a way to communicate with Krakoa down below. Mentallo...
Meditation.
Yeah, apparently then their call gets cut off by Mentallo, who just was basically stopped by the Five because they had no idea what was happening. They're just like, whoa, you're not going to kidnap us right now. So the Five basically like forced Mentallo to be like...
They accosted him out of his own tank.
Out of the think tank. And basically she starts talking to Hope Summers about what the hell is actually happening. And Brand is like, look, I wasn't trying to kidnap you. This was a protocol. We were going to take you into Shi'ar space where you'd be safe from this invading symbiote force or nemesis. Because without you, it would be pretty shitty to like revive mutants again. And we need you guys around to not only, I guess, revive the mutants that get lost in this, but the humans as well. And Hope is like basically, fuck out of here. What? And Abigail goes on with her.
She's tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Abigail.
That's the best way to put it.
Abigail continues on with her. I don't just serve Krakoa type deal. Like I take care of the whole world. And she's like, you're not better than us. It's like that meme, where, like when Meg is like, why do you guys always act like you're better than me? And it's the S.W.O.R.D team. In suits.
All of them. Like, yeah. I serve all humans.
The galaxy.
Mutants.
And Hope also brings up the point, is like, how many Shi'ar spaces have been conquered by the symbiotes? And Abigail's like, yeah, good point. A few of them have actually
4.
fallen to the symbiotes. That's fair. But yeah, he. It turns out the think tank wasn't just to get the 5 out of there. It was also to bring WizKid in. He built a translocator into the think tank so he can get there easily, which is pretty cool. Very smart. So yeah, basically their plan now is to just kind of fight off the symbiotes the best they can. Meanwhile, inside of the Krakoan bubble, Cable continues to talk shit, and he's like, "You're not even an Omega net level mutant. What do you think you could do against me?" And Eden's like, "Man, whatever." So Eden decides to flex a little bit and bring in. He fucking teleports in the center of the sun. But Cable Venom.
Peace.
Yeah, symbiote Cable is not really perturbed by it. He's like, "I think not. Body slide." And I guess he can teleport from place to place. So, it's a pretty shit matchup, it seems, for Eden. So
yeah, what is this body slide shit about? Is that
I think Cable?
Is that a move that Cable does?
Yeah, I think Cable can teleport to a degree, whereas Eden's powers are different. As he keeps dodging all of his attacks. Eden keeps trying to bring this sun over to him, and he keeps body sliding around. But that's when he ends up in the under the wrong cocoon, because one of the ladies, I'm so sorry, I don't remember her name. She pulls.
I'm gonna go back to the list for you.
Yeah, please do. She comes down. This is where Brian would have come in handy. Frenzy. I knew it was Frenzy. God damn it! Why am I so unsure of myself?
You're not a real fan, bro.
This is true. I'm not a real fan.
Yeah, you've been exposed.
Yeah, Frenzy comes up and just pulls Cable's arm clean off. And that's when the coolest shit ever happens. Eden pulls up and he...
Oh, this is when he does... Okay.
Yeah, he pulls the sun into his hand, which is fucking fire. He says, "I don't teleport. I'm more than that. I talk to the universe. And sometimes she does me little favors, like catch a piece of the sun and move it from here to there." And then he basically puts the sun in his hands and creates a sun Rasengan, blasts Cable Venom with it, and it is so cool.
Very.
So yeah, Cable's free of the symbiote, and Eden's like, "Yeah, and I'm not even an Omega mutant. Somewhere, there's someone more. So maybe don't come back, because if I'm not an Omega mutant, imagine what the Omega mutants can do for you."
Yeah.
Very cool. The think tank turns into this mech and plays like these sonic waves that piss off the symbiotes and drives them away.
And flashing lights.
Yeah.
The whole banger going on, basically, and it's keeping everything away.
Yeah, for real. It's pretty cool. And Krakoa is in rough shape, but everybody's saved for the most part. And Magneto's like, "Well, Krakoa has fought off alien invasions before, but this was no end. Contact the 5, move some fire to the front of the resurrection queue with immediate effect." And also the mutants that have proven anti-symbiote abilities as well. And when the fight is over, the very first thing they need to do is resurrect Fabian Cortez, because Magneto and Fabian have matters to discuss.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, he's trying to play into his hands again.
I guess they used to be cool.
Acquire more power.
Yeah, they used to be cool. So I get it. Yeah, this was a really cool issue. S.W.O.R.D has kind of just been like kind of stuck in the King in Black, not in a bad way, but I'm very looking forward to see like what S.W.O.R.D becomes, because it's going to be a massively important book, I feel, with its ties to what happens to the Avengers and everything that's happening in space. It feels very very important and very Hickmanian at that. Honestly, Hickmanian.
Yes. Very Hickmanian. S.W.O.R.D, right? Like, this would be like aside from X-Men, this is like the flagship series or something.
Yeah, something like that. I would say.
Well, no, not that it actually is or nothing like that. I'm just saying it has potential for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say
really
it was
drive the story plot, certain plots down.
right. I wouldn't say it was a flagship, but it feels like it really jumped up in importance over its so far short run. But I'm into it. The next X book that we're going to cover is X-Force number 18. Last we left off with that, Quentin Quire has been going on his own little mission with one of the cuckoos. Basically, somebody has been rolling around kind of taking the form of mutants and committing murders in their form. But it's obviously not any of them, as Quire has investigated and found that the methods of murder are a little too messy for the people who are supposed to be committing these crimes. So it's clearly not them. It's somebody using something maybe along the lines of Quire's power, where they're making maybe constructs of these people. But this starts off in Krakoa, this new issue, where Black Tom is just chilling amongst the veg. He's in his happy place, and he starts to hear a rustling in the woods, and he says, "All right, what's this about? Who's jollying their Roger out here in the dark?" I'm like, that's an interesting way to put it.
Jollying their Roger. Well, I've never heard that before, man. Black Tom is different.
Yeah, Black Tom is very fun. He looks out into the distance and sees what appears to be Slenderman just skulking around in the background. And that's when he starts to sink underneath the ground for some reason. And he basically drowns underneath Krakoa. We don't know if he's dead or not, but he has been taken out of the equation. We cut over to the Green Lagoon, where Sage is getting plastered. Living your life.
Right.
Yeah. Blob is the bartender of Krakoa, and that seems to be his only job here, is to make pretty good drinks.
Yeah, why not?
Hey, I'm here for it. So yeah, basically she's like, one more drink, and he's like, I'm cutting you off.
Negative.
Negativo.
Negative.
Yeah.
You are done.
Yeah, she falls to the ground, and she looks up, and the Blob is just this fucking scary monster looking guy. And it seems to be just like a quick illusion for a hot second. And yeah.
Really clever, by the way, because of what they imply later in the issue, but, it'll make sense.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the moon, Wolverine is, in the middle of whatever the night, day, whatever this time is on the moon. Wolverine also mentions, like, I can go from sunshine to sunset. What is time even anymore for us?
I guess.
And Jean starts to, like, make out with Wolverine. He's like, you like my coffee breath? And she's like, yeah. And they make out. And the next page is kind of jarring. Her face is just ripped off, and it's Wolverine as one of the monsters again. And it wears off just as quickly as it comes. She, like, screams, so Cyclops comes in and is like, hey, Jean, are you coming to bed? And Jean just leaves it. What is their relationship?
It's I don't remember the word for it. Polygamous?
Yeah, it's
no, it's like just a complete free, like this swing.
Yeah, for sure. It's a polygamous relationship. That's what I thought it was.
There's a word for it, though. Is that the word?
Yeah, it's polyamory.
Polyamory.
Yeah, polyamorous relationship. That's what I thought it was. But
that's what's going on.
Cyclops seems to be weird about it. Cyclops came in like, coming to bed, Jean. Like.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe if Wolverine's finished with her.
There are polyamorous relationships.
Better go back. Imagine he would have been like, "No, Scott, go back to bed."
Yeah,
she'll be
like,
back
excuse
in a couple. See yo.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. There are these types of relationships out there. And I wasn't confused about that, but this, for whatever reason, this panel is like, maybe is not as like good as it seems for them. Like, this felt like a weird hostile, like, coming to bed, Jean. I don't know. It's never been spoken in clear terms what their deal is. It always has been just kind of implied that Summer House is basically free love.
Yeah.
But
And maybe the sextant
yeah.
as well.
No, the
We're
sextant
always
is...
joking. Let me stop. I know.
The sextant is for kids, dude. Chill.
Yeah, man. Interesting choice to go by.
You know.
But it's alright.
So.
Oh, okay. So the next page is why this issue gets VGI for me.
Oh. Want to explain? Go for it.
Yo, your boy Beast on the ground dead? Come on, man. He deserves it.
Certified VGI.
The way he died, too. Well,
He's not technically dead yet.
He's not dead, but oh man,
He will
went
be.
through it. He went out like a G kind of, but he they gave him a fucking stroke, yo. That's crazy, man. But he's so shiesty, man. Very
Yeah,
high
for real.
on the spectrum, mind you.
Yeah. To explain
he
further.
sets the bar, honestly.
Yeah. To explain the circumstances, Quentin Quire and the Cuckoo come back to Krakoa and find Beast just laid out on the ground, trying to figure out what's going on. And it turns out Sage knows that he's suffered a pretty bad stroke, massive and debilitating to say the least. And they ask her, is like, why won't you transfer him to the Healing Guardians? And she said, well, we have an agreement. And we'll find out. We'll find out what that agreement is. They proceed onward, and they realize that a few people have been attacked by a psychic threat of some sort. So, yeah, it's someone who assaults people in their minds. And Beast is still going through it, it looks like, because he wakes up and he tries to communicate with Quentin. He goes, Down. And what he's trying to say is the Shadow Room. So he uses the Shadow Room to take, I guess, a psychic autopsy of sorts. And we enter Beast's mind to see what exactly happened and when it happened. And we see that he's getting like this nightmare of him being in class. And, you know, this guy is just roasting him, just trolling him pretty fucking hard. And he gets a call to get approach the blackboard and basically spill all of Krakoa's secrets.
And he's like, tell everything. Squeal, boy.
Squeal!
Sing.
Sing, Beast. Sing.
Tell it all.
Yeah.
And that's funny. That's like his worst nightmare. And I use nightmare for a reason.
Yeah.
I think he's about to explain why this has been happening to people.
Yeah. Well, as he's getting Krakoa's secrets written down, he's like, what's the matter? Can't do it? It's because you're stupid. And I'm like, Jesus.
You're gonna fail.
Oh, good.
Oh.
And it turns out that the shadowy figure that's asking him to reveal all of Krakoa's information is a zombie version of Quentin Quire, just being an ultimate troll.
Hell yeah. He's got like the cyanic saliva coming out of his fucking mouth. It's gross.
Yeah, it's real gross.
He's just screaming at this child beast. It's pretty.
Write it down. And in the background, you see one of the cuckoos being like, "Wow, this is cruel, dude. This is crazy." And Quentin Quire says like, "Yeah, it's kind of like no two ways about it. This is definitely me for some reason." And Sage kind of confirms it, like, yeah, I mean, there's an underlying vocal match, yes, and the brainwave frequencies is basically directly comparable to your power set, so it's basically you to a degree somehow. And Quentin's pretty down on it. The cuckoo is trying to assure him that Phoebe is her name. She's trying to assure him that, you're not like that anymore. So whatever this thing is, it's not actually you. It's a piece of you, but it's not really you anymore. And he is really bummed out. Quentin's not really getting better, but there's no rest for the wicked as fucking Sage just takes Beast and snaps his fucking neck.
Oh, shit!
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he was asking Quentin to murder him, but
Yeah.
she just took it into her own hands when he flaked out.
Yeah, and that's like that's the agreement they had, is that, you know, they would have to, if they got into any trouble and they could do something about it, they would kill each other because they know too much. They're too deep state to be just like allowed their bodies to be just out there, potentially taken advantage of. You look like you have a question.
What do you mean, like handicapped?
No, I think the point is that like they don't like to, if they can help it, they'll get rid of each other so that like if they're in a compromised position, nobody could get to their bodies because they can't they can't pull information from their bodies or whatever. Which begs the question. I never thought about this, but what happens to the corpses that they don't recover?
Retrieve.
You know what
right?
I mean?
Don't know, man.
I mean, I guess that's what the question this arc is answering, because as we know, there are villains out there using their bodies that they leave behind as weapons.
Yeah, it is a lot of excess carcasses, man.
Yeah, people
gotta add up to something. Yeah, I feel like this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I'll get to my thoughts on it because I thought of just something very interesting that X-Force is doing right now. But yeah, it cuts to them on the Sunset Cliffs, just kind of talking, trying to like kind of sort out this whole situation. As they're talking, all of a sudden Phoebe disappears, and Quentin wakes up in this fucking scary place, the place where like those soldiers that were made out of Domino's skin are being incubated currently, and yeah, I don't know what happened here. He's just thinking like, whoa, where am I? And this is a little bit confusing. I just thought of as Quentin is like walking around this lab and he's like, what happened to me? And he turns around and there is the Slenderman Quentin that is talking to him. Meanwhile, his real body is like going through a seizure. It looks like just like Beast did.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. And that's where kind of the issue ends, is that I guess one of these soldiers has Quentin's abilities, just like when they use Domino's, like pieces of Domino's skin to invade Krakoa. Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, this dude looks like the Domino's look cool that they made. They were like basically reverse Domino's, like as far as their color palette went, like those.
Basically, yeah.
And they look clean. This guy.
Scary.
I don't know if it's mostly illusion, like how Scarecrow is, and he just really looks like a regular guy with pink hair.
Yeah. And
some of his skin and stuff injected in him or whatever. You know how weird it gets. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to bring up is that like Quentin dying has been just kind of a punchline to this series, and I appreciate how they tried to make it into an effective consequence, that Quentin's deaths have a purpose and a negative impact on Krakoa as a whole. I thought that was a very interesting thing because for the most part it was treated like a "oh, not again" type of scenario where he died. And I'm glad that there's a little bit more weight behind all of his deaths so far. It feels a little more meaningful that way. But that's all I got to say about the X-Books. Pretty good batch this week. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well then, it is time to randomize.
Holy shit.
One Piece.
Oh, wow. I thought it was going to be Black Clover.
This is One Piece chapter 1007, Mr. Raccoon Dog.
Oh.
What?
What you talking about?
What?
RGC. Fuck is you talking about? Get smacked upside your head, nigga.
Wait, save your
Get
energy.
smacked.
Save your energy. You're gonna need it when it actually
I got
happens.
plenty. Don't worry about that. This is nothing. I'm just
okay.
This is so I can get through the chapter without wilding.
All right. So last we
this was a banger, guys.
This was a banger, dude. Last we left off.
This is not your RGC?
I think.
Or are you waiting to drop it? I'm gonna give you time on this one. I'm
gonna give myself time because it is between two this week. I'm really stuck. But
Okay. If you say so.
But yeah, basically, it starts off where we last left off. Hyogoro is about to get killed on his own accord. You know, he asks his people, is like, "Yo, if Chopper can't get to me in time, kill me now because I'm gonna be a problem for you guys, and you don't need any more problems. You already have 99, so it's not a good."
This is gonna be more than just one for y'all.
So
Kazekage is down.
yeah,
Oh my god! I can't believe he lost already.
yeah. So
Come on, you know who Kazekage
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. One of the what was it? The Oniwamba? No, the Mimawari Gumi.
Let me stop. Fucking enough. I don't want to. I'm not making fun of the
No, of course we
bad
just
OD.
can't. We're just ignorant Americans who can't speak though.
Oh god, I'm the fucking worst. I can't be critical of nobody.
Okay, so what happened is
Alright.
so as they're about to chop off his head, they're just like fuck it. They're kind of hesitating a little bit, just hoping Chopper just comes out of nowhere and gets out of the way. But that's when Queen pulls up. And he's like, "Shut up, you nobodies. Ice Oni is my masterpiece. In a sense, I made it just for you." He just came to talk some clear shit to his people before they died.
Yeah, I like right. That's what happened because he was in regular form and then bursted. Like to let the niggas know, like, who was that said that? You guys? Let me tell you something. I didn't notice that the first time, yo. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Tight.
Yeah, he basically tells his henchmen that they're nobodies. They mean nothing, and they can always find more soldiers. And everybody's like, "Fuck! Well, never mind." So I guess like Kaido's crew is basically like, "Well, I'm not just gonna sit here and die for nothing. I'm gonna go and cut everybody down who's an Ice Oni, friend or foe. And as soon as I survive this ordeal, I'm quitting this pirate crew." Cause fuck you guys.
Yeah. I'm not with the shit. Yo, did you notice he still has the cigar in his mouth as a Brontosaurus?
Yes, he does. This is true. But that cigars are one of the most powerful things in the One Piece universe. I don't know if you know this.
Like you smoking a cigar and fighting. First of all, I'm just gonna automatically assume he's inhaling it. He's not like doing it how like normal people do, where they just fake inhale it like hookah.
I'll tell you what. If you think back to way back in the day in Impel Down, Crocodile had a cigar in his cell in Impel Down. Like, if you have a cigar in One Piece, the cigar may see the One Piece before you do, because it cannot be defeated. So, after the brutal disrespect that Queen delivers upon his people, it's time's up for Hyogoro. He's becoming a full Ice Oni, so they gotta do what they gotta do and take the old man out. And then right as this dude brings his sword down, who pulls up? Dr. Tony Chopper. And he has the cutest... He has the cutest face on where he goes like, "Made it just in time." And yeah, he's like, "I figured it out." So he calls over to his team of other doctors, and they launch a cannon that has the Chopper Phage Nebulizer.
Is that his new special move?
And if you think about it, it's kind of reminiscent to how Caesar used that I don't remember what it was.
The smile shit.
Yeah,
right?
his smile shit.
Whatever you call it.
Yeah, the essay.
Sad.
Yeah. And it creates a mushroom cloud, but it has Chopper's little face on it. And basically, what Chopper did was like, well, we couldn't inject every single one, so I used the antibodies as a base to create my own virus. I stopped the only thing that could stop a bad guy with a virus is a good guy with a virus.
Sure, Chopper. I'll take your word for it, Doctor.
I mean, it's One Piece science. I'm not going to take it for medical fact, but I'll buy it. I'm happy for him. Queen is like, "Why would you bother to cure my guys?" And Chopper says viruses aren't meant to be used as weapons. They'll always slip out of control in the end. And man, if that's not more prevalent in these times than any time, I don't know what is. And Queen, in typical One Piece villain fashion, is like, fuck that. And then he just starts shooting his gun, his dinosaur gun stuff at him.
He didn't care about none of that shit that Chopper was spitting.
It's like, ethics? You think I care about that? And honestly, like the pleasures on Kaido's crew take the bullets for young Chopper. And as everybody starts to rally behind Chopper in this really cool way, fucking Marco pulls up behind Queen and holds him back, and he says, "Nice job, raccoon dog. Now pop him." And then Chopper transforms into Monster Chopper, and he slaps the fucking shit out of Queen.
Yo. Oh, but what did he tell him?
He says, "I'm not a raccoon dog."
Now check this out. I didn't even notice this from the other from when I read it the first couple times. But yo, everyone is like kind of calling him that, like mad different groups of people.
Yeah.
Like now I know this is something they've been saying throughout like Wano for like the most part, at least during this arc when they've been on the Monster Island. But you heard it from several different people.
Good
you know
guy
what I'm
and
saying?
bad guy.
Yeah, I so when he smacks all types of fire out of Queen's mouth and lets him know that he is not a raccoon dog. Everybody, yo, nigga, the goons, Marco, the samurai goons, the samurai bosses,
Hyogoro.
Oh, and X Drake too, I guess.
Diaz Drake for sure was like,
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, everybody's genuinely like, oh, sorry.
It is.
It's such a great moment. One Piece has been so fucking funny. Like,
oh man, when I read this shit, I literally, it's rare when I have actual burst out loud.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like genuine laughs. When you're not just like, that's funny.
Yeah, for sure. And Wano has been doing
still
that.
Funny.
Wano has been doing that a lot, man. Because like the last time it happened was that competition between Law, Luffy, and Kid, where they were like,
dude, he's trying to back up.
That's one of my favorite things in the universe is looking at those 3 panels. But it's so great. Oda's the man, dude.
Yeah, this literally could have been the last page of the chapter, and I would have been satisfied.
For sure.
But for the week for me, I definitely thought it was going to save the end at the bottom, but guess what? It does not.
It does not. We cut over to the right brain tower inside the dome, where we catch up with Momonosuke and Yamato and Shinobu. Momonosuke is hating on himself. He's like, I'm so stupid and frivolous and weak and foolish. I hate myself. But Shinobu's like, no, you've been very brave. And in this moment, that's when Momonosuke transforms into his dragon form. I think it usually happens when he is under amounts of stress. He can't really control his fruit. So he just kind of like loses control after a while. And I guess he starts to fly off, is the implication, is that he gets lost from the rest of the group. Or he separates from the rest of the group. We cut back into the guest parlor. And we get a pretty big revelation here as the CP0 guys are talking about how back in the days when they actually had Kaido captive. Yeah. He says that...
Oh, no, this was actually crazy.
Exactly. He explains that Vegapunk extracted Kaido's bloodline elements and used them to create an artificial devil fruit, which is what I imagine what these smile fruits are. The world government was demanding that they give them the fruit, but he was never really happy with the results, and he kept it on Punk Hazard, which explains how Caesar, his background there with Caesar and all that stuff, and why he was there. And one of them is like, why are you bringing that now? Punk Hazard was demolished in that explosion. But yeah, he realized, like, according to G5's reports, one of the labs was still functioning at the time. I was thinking to myself, thank goodness it was only a failure. Because
So can we talk about this for a second?
For sure.
Did you have something you wanted to say already?
No, go for it.
Because mine are more just kind of like questions. Like,
Go for it.
That I'm kind of not fully understanding. All right, so he's saying thank goodness it was only a failure, right? But I feel like Oda wouldn't put a moment like this just for him to say something like that. I think that's kind of sorry, I got distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said it for a reason, and I think we're going to see the consequences of that.
Mm-hmm.
But are they implying something that I missed already, that is already the case, that has been shown?
I guess what he's saying is more like the government wanted this at the time, and they're lucky that this experiment didn't actually go well, because I feel like Kaido would have had a way stronger army if the smile.
Oh, yes.
Was like, honestly, they're just kind of like, whoosh, we're lucky that these fucking fruits are kind of trash, you know? But I know, yeah, I feel like there is a relevance to bringing this up. It feels kind of vague right now. That's what I'm getting from it, is that they're just kind of like implying that they're happy that these fruits aren't as strong as they could have been, or they're lucky that they're stronger than they could have been. But yeah, I mean, maybe it'll come up later. I imagine it will. These CP0 guys seem to be an important part of the story, so I'm not doubting it at all. But in any case, we cut into the Treasury repository, and this is where my mind gets a little blown for a minute, because Oda leaves us on a pretty epic twist to leave us off on a 2-week break on a week break for. But yeah, we cut over to the samurai who are they're hurt, but you know, they're conscious now, and they've noticed that they've been tended to, and they're like, we need to fucking go, dude. Yeah, we're not gonna let this stop us. And then the door opens, and there's like, look at you. Looks like you've gone through hell. I missed you. You're so much older now. And it turns out that the person that's been taking care of them has been Kozuki fucking Odin.
I knew it.
Did you?
No. How the fuck was I supposed to know that, man? That shit is crazy. Come on. It wasn't an arrow. Brian, you're going to listen to this, bro. You lost. You said it was an arrow. You try to say that other people were saying it, but I already know you was fronting, and other people was actually Brian Espinal.
Yeah, we all know that
Big
Brian...
News Brian himself.
We knew that. Mm-hmm. We always know that Big News Brian is the one that's spreading all these fan theories around.
Yeah, man, he's spreading he's the one cooking it up behind the scenes.
Yeah.
He's stirring the pot, yeah.
I mean, I have no idea what to make of this.
Like Bakugo and Metal Man?
Bakugo and Kirishima? No way.
Red Machine. What's his name? Red Steel?
No, not Red Steel. It's Red Riot.
All right. Let's not go into the super tangent. Wait, I had another question. Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Did Momonosuke have smile fruit?
Yeah, I think it is a smile fruit.
Huh.
It's kind of, I mean, he found it, he ate his fruit at Punk's Hazard. I don't know if it is a smile fruit. I gotta look back. Because it only mentioned that he found a fruit, and he ate a fruit at Punk Hazard, but it's not clear as to whether it's a smile fruit or not. But yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I have no idea what to make of this. One Piece is off next week, and I am depressed. I like to think that this is not actually Odin. So I mean, that's my 2 cents. I could be wrong. It could be Odin has been alive this entire time and has said nothing.
No way.
I mean, who could it be?
I think it's some type of spiritual stuff, and he's summoning their spirit, or I don't know.
Yeah, previous avatar. That's a previous avatar type shit.
I was the previous sword guy on on
Roger's crew.
Jolly Roger's crew.
Jolly
So
Roger's
I'm
crew.
an avatar, and when Rayleigh dies, wait, Rayleigh's supposed to be the sword. Whatever, man. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what to make of this. I am excited to find out, honestly. It's a real bummer.
Under ribbon.
It's like Oda knew that he would be taking off a week next week, and he's like, let me leave them with some crazy shit.
Something wild, then it's just not going to be the case at all.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you guys are all hallucinating at the same time in unison.
Although I don't know what the alternative is. You know, I can't.
The hallucination route?
The hallucination.
All right, maybe somebody healed them and then bounced or went into hiding.
Okay.
And this is somebody using the hallucination fruit on them to try to like trick them.
I have a theory. You remember that fox that was protecting the thing? Remember from way back?
Oh.
I bet that's the one. I bet that's him.
Oh. Holy shit, the one I was protecting the sword, then Enma, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm calling it right now.
The sword that... Oh shit, yeah, he was with the Kermit guy, right?
Yeah. Calling it right here, right now. Right now. I could be wrong. What if it is just Odin? I'm gonna feel real dumb.
We'll see in 2 weeks, then, I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking April?
Yeah.
Oh,
but fantastic chapter altogether. Very fun. So fun. Typical One Piece, just always fun and always enjoyable. Fun read all around. Ready to move on, Jersh?
Yeah.
Then let's randomize. Justice League.
Unlimited.
Not really.
I wish.
Justice League Limited. Honestly. This is Justice League number 59. Infinite Frontier has taken over the Justice League books. Brian Michael Bendis is now the new writer for the Justice League. I think this is the only book he's writing right now. Because he's not on Superman anymore. He's not on Action Comics. So this is the only thing he's doing, which I am kind of happy about. I feel like we got a lot of him like out the gate. And it feels like we needed to take back. But
so he wrecked Superman, and then they decided to throw him on Justice League?
He didn't wreck Superman, but he didn't make Superman any better than it used to be. Man, I mean, his run does not hold a candle.
That was well said. That's well said.
His run also does not. It just doesn't hold a candle to what Peter Tomasi was doing.
No, not even close, man.
They were.
Who is Peter Tomasi?
He wrote a lot of stuff, a lot of really good stuff. He wrote Super Sons. He wrote, Batman and Robin. That was like his big.
Back in the day.
Mm-hmm. He wrote a lot of. Really
he was doing the comics when Batman put on that suit and went to Apocalypse, right, to get his son back.
I think so.
That crazy shit happened.
Yeah, I think he's the one who brought back Damien from the dead. After
that shit was wild.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tomasi. It really does suck because Super Sons was one of the best books out there, and it just ended too soon. He's putting them out. He's still writing Super Sons actually. In like
Bendis murdered Super Sons.
I don't think he murdered Super Sons, but he did make
it. He assassinated it.
He did.
No. Fuck Super Sons. We're gonna do Justice League 8000 or whatever the fuck the name of those comics were that we just
Legion of Superheroes.
Don't care about Legion of Superheroes.
I don't know if that's still going. Honestly, that might be the other thing he's doing. But in any case, it's Justice League number 59.
Oh man, I went hard. We're gonna give this a chance, guys. I'm sorry. I started off so fucking negative.
We kind of open up with this conversation where people, I guess Green Arrow is talking to the League, saying like, "Yeah, people just see us and see gods. Can we fix that?" And everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" And we cut over to kind of Kandak, where this kid is like going over his mom's grave, and Black Adam starts hovering above him, and yeah, he has this like nice little conversation with this kid when they're interrupted by this giant, like by this weird demon monster that just pulls up out of nowhere, and he has banter. He speaks in Bendis banter speak.
Oh yeah, he does. This is actually Bendis.
This is Bendis himself. He wrote himself into a comic book, made himself a villain. And after that, Black Adam already knows. This is why I like Black Adam. He wastes no time. He's out here wanting to smoke, and they just start going at it immediately. And it's actually a pretty well drawn fight scene, honestly, for like American comics. For like this one page that it happens. David Marquez is the artist for this. He's one of the best artists, honestly. His art is just gorgeous. So they fight for a while, and that's when the Justice League pull up, and he's like, "Take it easy, Black Adam. We'll take it from here." It's so funny. It's like he's the Justice League can take it from here, and you see Aquaman, the father of the sea, ex-king and father of the and new father, Hawk Girl, Nth Metal wielding Eternal Warrior, and Batman, the Dark Knight Detective, just a regular ass guy.
Detective.
And this demon guy his name is Brutus. He also doesn't waste time. He's like, I'll keep this simple. All of this, everything the light touches, it's mine now.
Yeah.
And in a cool moment, Superman's like, "Oh, that's too bad," and just chucks him away. He just goes, At least Black Adam was on the right side of this, and I don't have to worry about him. And he gets sent flying to like the middle of the ocean, and that's when Aquaman pulls up with a wall of shark. And this is one of his special moves, apparently, is wall of shark.
Wall of shark.
He's like, usually I'd never wall of shark on a stranger, but if Black Adam can you can toss around Black Adam, I'm not taking any chances. They take their battle to the underground. But this guy is obviously formidable. He starts fighting both Hawk Girl and Aquaman at the same time. The Nth Metal...
Well, really, he starts getting beaten down by both of them, kind of.
Yeah, but he tanks it. He kind of like...
He's tanking it, but I just want to paint the picture accurately for everybody. I mean, because they try to give Aquaman and Hawk Girl, they do.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm even making a big deal out of it. I was a little impressed, because, Aquaman didn't just summon some sharks. You feel me? He pulled up and was like, "Yeah, I'm about to stab you in the chest with this fucking trident, son. It's over."
Yeah.
I seen what you did to Black Adam.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a chance.
There were demons, a shark, and I killed a man with my trident.
Oh yeah, but nah, like I like how he kind of like erupts and gets Aquaman off of him with this energy outburst, and he tries to come up to the surface and bam.
Hawk Girl pulls
just
up,
cracks in the fucking head. It was like, Aquaman ain't finished with you, nigga.
Yeah, literally, that's what happens. It's actually kind of funny.
He drags him back down and starts, just beating his ass and sends him back up with an uppercut for Hawk Girl to hit him again. But like they're intercepting a volleyball or something. I don't know, man. Yeah, this shit looking like they playing volleyball with him.
It's looking like super high Q.
Yeah. But before Hawk Girl gets the swing, right, her lance start acting weird.
Yeah. Mace. And he's like,
Bendis.
Wow. He's like, whoa.
Bendis.
Why is this
what
Bendis
are you doing here? Oh, what's going on, buddy?
What was that?
He's Bendis, man. He's all like, whoa, he's gonna hit you with this smooth lingo and these lines and this interpersonal stuff, and then wait out for this. I'm going to throw this at you. Everyone does it. I'm being an asshole. I said I wouldn't do it, and I'm doing it. God damn it, I can't help myself.
Yeah, so apparently, like, her Nth Mace starts reacting to him, and he's like, whoa, this is crazy. You know what? I was clearly ill-prepared for this. I'm a go. I paused. Right.
Smart. Nigga says, I'm out.
Yeah, I didn't know.
This out later.
I didn't know what I was getting into, so peace.
No, he did not.
I mean, honestly, I've
lost
never
a piece of his horn.
Yeah, I've never seen this happen in American comics, where a villain just gets smacked very early, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa! All right, let me go back and reevaluate my place in the universe, and then I'll come back and see what I can do." It's really cool, but yeah, he disappears through this portal, and Black Adam is like, "All right, leave my city. Goodbye." We cut back over to the Hall of Justice as they're trying to figure out what the fuck happened with the Nth Mace. Meanwhile, Green Arrow and Black Canary pull up and are
snap.
And are complaining that, like, I don't know, man. I think that just, we need to do more for the people. And I'm like, you're Green Arrow.
You're gonna shoot people in the head with an arrow, like what?
Yeah.
That's all you're doing, buddy.
Yeah, he's like, we're not doing enough. And Superman, I mean, God bless his soul. What a nice guy. He just goes, I agree, Oliver. What do you think we should be doing?
Yeah, so what's your idea?
I mean, I don't know. We just got finished fighting a demon that would have killed everybody. What would you do, Green Arrow? And
it's very condescending.
Green Arrow is like, I don't know. We need to get new voices in here and shit. We need to get more people involved. And that's kind of where Kellex kind of comes in and is like, wait a minute, I found an unidentified but an exact energy match signature to a... Do you remember a young woman named Naomi McDuffie? And yeah, we cut to said Naomi. It's been a while since we've seen her. I think she was part of the Teen Titans for a minute, or the Titans. I think she was involved in another thing, but...
The Young Justice?
Yeah. I think it was Young Justice. And yeah, so she's just chilling in Oregon where she lives, and seeing as how she seems to be tied to whatever this demon is, Black Adam pulls up to Oregon and is like, Naomi McDuffie, a word. And that's where the issue ends, with Black Adam intercepting Naomi first. And yeah, honestly, not bad. I'm very much into this Justice League. I always Bendis is good when he's not stretched out. I feel like that was his whole thing, is that we got too much of him.
Yeah, he said, I'm taking over all of Superman.
Yeah, because he had both Superman books, and he also had Legion of Superheroes. He had the first Naomi series. He had Young Justice.
That too?
Yeah, and he had like independent books that he was also writing, like his own original stories. So I'm hoping that now he has less on his plate, he can focus a little bit more, because I do like him a lot. He's one, like Ultimate Spider-Man, his run on that is one of my favorite books all time. So, I like me some Bendis. I just don't like it when it's all crazy.
Red like mustard, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a good book. Infinite Frontier so far of the books that we've read, it's good. Every time DC tries to rebuild itself, it always starts off pretty cool, I just hope that they kind of stick to a thing finally, and just focus on the stories, man. I feel like they just...
I'm interested... Oh, no, not to cut you off, my bad, but I'm really interested in the biggest draw for me is that they're adding new characters, and I want to see how they interact. And I thought, for as much shit as I talked about Oliver Queen, I think he did make a really good point where it's like we should get some new faces in here, and they'll reflect better on the people, and we'll actually get some new insight.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're just getting anybody off the street. They're getting, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, Naomi's green, but she obviously has a lot to say as a young adult and someone like this age of superhero, and not age of years, like, this generation. You know what I'm saying? She's the representative of the younger generation.
She's also very strong. She's also like
that's a
Justice League caliber hero. But yeah, I mean,
she's supposed to have like unlimited potential, right? One of those type of situations where she could be anything at this point.
Yeah, and Bendis created her, like brought her into the fold, and I'm glad he's been trying to find an avenue for this character to just live for a while now. So I'm glad he found her a home, like a safe home in Justice League, where we know it's not going to get canceled, and Plus the art for this is fantastic. David Marquez is such a fucking talented artist.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, pick it up. A little bit recommended. I'll say that. You ready to move on, Josh?
Yes.
Let's go. Bad bitch from Tokyo. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 142. A Brother's Back. Oh man, very close to being my RGC. Not my RGC though.
Okay.
Last we left off, Choso was facing off against Naoya, and last he left, Naoya asked him why he's so tough, and he says, it's because I'm the oldest of 10 siblings. And Naoya, I love how he just like responds back like, it's not an answer, that's not what I was asking. I'm asking you about your curse technique and your toughness. And Choso doesn't give a fuck, he just lunges straight at him, and they get into fighting. Naoya just kind of like puts it together in his head, I guess. He's like, okay, he's adjusted to my speed now. That's troubling. Apparently, flowing red scale is a technique that focuses his extraocular muscles.
Yeah, extraocular, yeah.
Yeah, just allows him to see shit. He's basically got the Sharingan going on right now.
Byakugan, if you ask me, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, whichever one. I think both of them.
Yeah.
I think both of them do that a little bit. But that doesn't really stress him out because he just teleports right in front. He says, too bad for you. I always act on the assumption that you'll counter. And after he nails one on him, Choso starts just bleeding out. And it turns out Naoya has been using a hidden blade. Apparently all of the Zenin are like weapons specialists, which explains like, Maki and her cousin also use weapons. And it's a whole family thing. Mostly blades they use. Naoya's just like looks down on his brothers for just displaying them so prominently. So he's just like, I just keep mine hidden, And he really talks shit to them. And
yeah, he does.
Choso's like, so you hate your brothers?
Right, that was what he got from all of that. No small details. Just I see. You hate your own siblings.
Yeah, and he's like,
and I was like, yeah, but sure.
Yeah,
I do.
he says, that's right. There's no point to big brothers who are inferior to their little brothers. They should hang themselves and die. Pretty intense. But yeah, Choso's like, but maybe it's because of them you are who you are. And now he's like, did you say something nauseating? And he basically explains like whether they're superior or inferior, older brothers are role models for their younger brothers. If the older brother takes the wrong path, the younger brothers can avoid it. And if I take the right path, my brothers can follow behind. So, you ask why I'm tough, I'll tell you. It's because I didn't have someone to guide me, so I kept making mistakes. Nonetheless, I must walk ahead of my little brothers. That's why I'm so strong. And you see like this pool of blood collecting underneath Choso, and it just starts swarming towards Naoya. And I always like, fuck, how could he bleed that much and still live?
Word.
Yeah.
Say, what is this? You mean the Soul Society right now? What the fuck?
Did we just enter Bleach?
Did he do something? Am I in his domain?
Am I fighting Renji right now?
I didn't catch him do it.
Okay, so he sends all this blood at him, and he avoids it. He's like, "What a slow attack! He must be dying from the blood loss." And then, right out of the corner, Choso just pulls up and goes, "Bleh!" And he fires off one of the blood arrows. Naoya dodges that, but he's just Choso just keeps coming in and overwhelming him kind of with attacks. The blood gets on his legs and it starts to feel heavy.
Like on his clothing, it's like, and he's using the blood to kind of just drop him down.
Yeah, it's so
like,
crazy.
Damn, that's smart.
And then he says, "You know what comes next? This is checkmate." And Naoya starts thinking to himself, "Is like my cursed technique moves at 24 frames a second, so it's no problem."
Oh my god, this is literally like a fucking fighting game.
Yeah, it's no problem for me to move despite being in the spine. And then he tries moving forward. And then he sees that he's not Choso's not unleashing his attack. And then he's like, then we get a little narration that says, "This move was a Choso exclusive."
Ooh.
Born of Choso honing his own cursed technique for 150 years. And
150 years?
Yeah, Choso's been alive for a long time.
God damn. Is he a cursed spirit or what?
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was getting confused.
No, man. What else? We need more information.
Okay, so he goes supernova. and then just blood explodes, like right near Naoya, and just I guess like machine gun blasts him.
Yeah, catch him in like an area move.
Yeah, like a grenade. And
Basically like a spike grenade, yeah.
yeah, and he falls to the ground. He says, "Sorry, you didn't love your brothers, and I can't understand that." And the battle is won on behalf of Chozo, but not for long, because next page, splash page of big trouble.
Yeah. And your little brother getting dragged.
Yeah, Chozo turns around and he Okotsu wastes no time, just knocks him out. And he looks down to Naoya and he's like, "You look hurt, Naoya." And that's where the chapter ends.
Naoya.
Sheesh, what a gangster.
Would you like me to heal you? Naoya.
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 I ain't gonna lie, I like all of these characters. I don't got a problem with nobody.
Yeah, I mean, what a fun story.
Yeah.
What a great battle. Choso showed out for a character that was like,
Yeah, he caught him too.
Yeah.
He used strategy and improvisation.
and you know what? We all figured that Choso was going to be that guy that like he's really cool, but he dies because he's facing off against a guy who was seen as a major antagonist for this arc.
Yeah.
Just kind of like fodder in a way for the plot.
Sure, yeah, it is gonna happen, but it's gonna suck when it does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it didn't happen right now, honestly, because I think Choso's really
Well, who
proven
knows?
himself.
I mean, I think he just elbowed him really hard in the head.
Yeah, but he's not after Choso. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Yeah, true, but I mean, did you see what he did to the fucking street when he landed?
this is true.
He just hit somebody in the fucking head, in the side of the head too.
Yeah, but
He
Choso's
might
not
be
like a
dead,
regular
bro.
human. So he's been
You
alive.
think he hit him with just a regular elbow, not a cursed energy out?
Get out of my way. Yeah, but oh man, such a great chapter. Very close to being my VGI. Oh, RGC, sorry, but there was one slightly better. You ready to move on, Josh?
Yeah.
It is time to randomize. My Hero Academia.
Oh, is the violence for Brian?
Yeah.
Because he's a sad boy? Because he's
You
not
missed
here
it.
talking about this right
I'm
now?
gonna assume that this is Brian's really good chapter of the week.
Certified RGC.
Because it was also mine. And if it was mine,
And there's no way if one of us found it good that he didn't find it the best
right
damn
now,
thing he's ever read.
right now he's reading all of the theories to be ready to bring it to us next week.
Mhm.
But till then, let's get into the chapter proper. Last we left off, Midoriya had a bit of an interesting chat with the previous inheritors of One for All, or All for One. Oh, no, I said it right the first time. It's One for All. And they left off with him saying that, "Can you kill Tomura Shigaraki?"
And also, do you think you can do more push-ups than me? Because my arms are fucking jacked.
Look at my arms, dude.
She's cut, yo. Look, on the next page at the bottom right.
Oh, yeah, she's cut,
She's
dude.
standing. Look at that, man. She lifts, bro.
She lifts for sure.
Amongst other things.
Yeah, even her spirit lifts. So basically she says, "Can you kill Shigaraki?" And Midoriya's like, and she's like, I'm not asking. This is not a request. I'm asking about your resolve, because basically you looked at him and you saw somebody who needed saving, but even in a situation like that, his eyes were filled with nothing but hate. So it's likely that, his All for One is planning to use his body to acquire One for All.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it explains that it looks like the second and his successor, the third guy, had direct encounters with All for One, and they failed to take their power from him. Like he failed to take their power from them. So yeah, because of that, the origin of One for All was itself a powerful will that refused to submit to All for One. So our whole existence is predicated on defeating All For One once and for all. So it seems that Yagi accomplished this, but his brother is still alive, and as long as he lives, it's going to be a fucking problem. So, basically, we can't let this go any further. We have to end him right here. So, do you have what it takes to kill him? And Midoriya starts to explain that, like, I could see that he was hurting, and I could feel it when Shigaraki's consciousness was invaded One For All. I felt a little boy crying, and he's come up against all these types. They refuse to back down, and he never understood why it made them turn out that way. And he remembers Gentle Criminal, and he's like, maybe if I had, things would have turned out differently. Or who knows, maybe I still would have had to fight them anyway, but Shigaraki's killed so many people, and he's hurt so many people close to me, and yet we get this little visage of Midoriya as a little boy, seeing Shigaraki crying as a little boy. And he says, One For All is a power meant for saving, not killing. All Might taught me that. And it's not just me. All Might and all of you who've built up this power have given hope to countless people. So I get that the power was meant to destroy that evil, but if I can help it at all, if maybe there is no other way besides killing, but I don't know what I'm going to do when the time comes, but I want to save that little boy. And this sentiment kind of touches all of the visages of One For All. And All Might's spirit starts crying in the ether.
Yeah, that was touching, actually.
Yeah, it was a really sweet moment. And
because it's not his actual consciousness, but it is his almost his subconsciousness. So it is still him. So it's just reacting without I don't know. It was, like I said already.
Yeah, he's in there, basically. He's there with them. He just can't speak yet because he's not really dead. His conscious is still out in the living world. But this is a piece of it. So basically he says it's fortunate that our power passed to you too.
Yeah.
And this whole thing was just a test. They're all behind Midoriya in at least trying to save Shigaraki before they kill him, if it has to come down to that. So, Nana Shimura starts crying and is like, Gran Torino still lives, so when you wake up, tell him, please give him my best. And the original user for One For All turns over to the corner to the other inheritors whose faces we haven't seen, that Brian has revealed might be Bakugo and Kirishima. He turns to them and he says, now play nice, you two. You have to cooperate with our successor. He needs your help to unleash his full power. I don't know what this implies.
Bro, I think shit's gonna turn up soon.
I'm
thinking, like, if not a time skip, some type of training, niggas is about to level up.
I cannot wait to find out who these people are. And I feel like they're...
Oh, that's... Okay. Wait. Dude, when I tell you my heart started racing, when he was like, now, play nice, you two, you have to cooperate with our... Yo, I don't know, but I immediately started thinking about the theory, and I was like, oh my god, is he trying to say that his friends now, in the present right now, need to help him? Oh, man. The theory might be right.
No.
And then I was just like, nah.
No, I don't think that's the theory. I don't think that's it. But
that really looks like Bakugo, though.
I will say this. I think these two have a contentious relationship with each other. I think they're kind of like stand-ins for Bakugo and maybe Midoriya. I feel like they don't get along, but they succeeded each other. Like, one of them gave the other their power. One of them passed down the power to the other, but they don't really get along. Because the way he says, play nice, you two, implies that they're either mean or not exactly heroic.
Just mean-spirited generally?
Or not exactly heroic, or they don't get along. And the reason they're facing separate corners is because they can't be in the same room together.
Yeah. That's so weird.
I'm very interested.
Maybe it's a matter of ethics and morals, and it's going to be something for Midoriya to kind of figure out between them two. Maybe he could even settle the beef between them.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah. But man, I don't know where this is going. a bunch of interesting chapters that have been coming out from My Hero Academia so far. It's really getting, down to the nitty gritty of very important things that we've wondered about this series. Can't wait to see what happens next. It's my RGC for the week. I mentioned that earlier, and it's really well done. Mainly because it's very consistent with Midoriya. Part of why Midoriya is so great is that he has this unshakable principle of being a hero. That it always comes down to that little boy who wanted to help people, and that's always such an inspiring little thing to see, a little beautiful message to see. Is that it all started with that little kid, that good kid, That if that kid was there in anybody's life, they would have been massively improved. But
I think that's also what happened with me in the series. Real quick, I think I started to feel detached from Midoriya, where I felt like he was my favorite character and one of the best parts of the series. And I guess I'm starting to get reminded of that. Is that he was getting so strong so fast, and I just felt like, who is this kid? He's not. He's just flying around, busting people's heads in. He came a real long way from the freaking gentle criminal fight. He just kind of started wowing.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that gentle criminal fight was one of the best fights in the series.
Really good.
Yeah, I mean the main appeal of Midoriya, he was for a time I was like, this is probably one of the best shonen protagonists to emerge in a long time. Just because he was in a combat sense, he was very creative with his fights. He always had to kind of think around his own ability, outsmart his own power to a degree. And now that he's getting more accustomed to it, it's kind of like a symptom. Of course he had to. He can't just keep it where he's getting his bones broken all the time. But yeah,
we knew that wasn't going to always be the case. It was just a matter of the how. How was they going to go about doing this?
Yeah. And maybe if we look back on the series, we'll find, because the gentle criminal fight, he was still doing it. He was still thinking creatively, and that's his biggest asset, is that he's a very creative. He's a problem solver, to say the least, and that's what's the biggest appeal. He's the most problem solver-y main character I've ever seen. But who knows? Maybe there's a little bit more to this. I can't wait to see what happens next. But good things in store for My Hero Academia. But that's all I got to say about it. You ready to move on?
Yes.
Let's close this bitch out. Black Clover.
Is this the audience?
Yeah, this is the audience decided RGC.
Okay. This is one hell of a run.
Dude.
Even if it wasn't all these consecutive ones, it was only off for 1 week.
The week that it wasn't here.
And the week it wasn't here, and then there was one other time when it was One Piece, I think. Yeah, and and otherwise it's
people really like it.
And we really like it too, guys.
I do.
So keep listening.
I do enjoy.
See, Brian's not here. No negativity.
Yeah,
we love big anti-magic swords.
For sure. This is Black Clover chapter 285, a hellish game of tag. This is where we learn how Noct got fucked up.
Yeah.
A few minutes before Noelle and the others arrived, Noct was like, our top priorities right now is to defeat the Dark Triad and close the portals, but first we need to separate Dante and the top level devils. Rhymes. These devils are just torment, break, toy with, kill. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Dante's pretty stoked about this. He's like, this is the world I wanted. Yeah. Jack the Ripper.
He looks like such a dickhead. Really? These dudes are thinking about smoking you just for the sake of it, but only didn't because, your master's the big boss man.
Yeah.
Got saved, yo.
Basically. Jack the Ripper pulls up behind him and is like, I'm not done with you yet. I'm the Kenpachi of this series. I don't die very easily. So Noct calls upon his demon called Wagner, and he transforms into his next form, the Devil Union mode Gallus. And
Cargo.
yeah, it's very fancy. And he turns.
Yeah, it looks cool.
He uses the characteristic call, and I guess he just like sinks downward. Oh, he brings everybody down to the chapel below because, like he said, his priority was to separate them from Dante. And Noct is like, "I'll be your opponent, devils," and he uses his dark prison hunting ground, and they start fighting in this dark zone where nobody can see really. After a while, the battle continues. Noct is putting in all the work. He's trying his best. And as
You're trying to evade and dodge and dip.
Yeah.
And dodge again.
Dodge, dip. First rule of dodgeball: dodge, dive, dip, and dodge. But yeah, we start to get a flashback of Noct's backstory. It tells the story of the House of Faust that had twin sons. The younger twin was a very good man, and the other was a bad delinquent. And they're just talking. The good one asks the bad one, "Why won't you join the Magic Knights, brother?" And he says, "Yo, where's the fun in that? I'm a bad boy. I do bad boy things."
Yeah. Smoke cigs and do what I want. You ain't joining no Magic Knights.
I smoke cigs and listen
Get your
to
weird
Incubus.
ass out of my face, you fucking fag. Until Yami pulls up.
Yami says, "Yo, Morgan, mission time." And the one that looks like Noct says, "Understood, Yami."
Yeah.
And it turns out
No problem.
the one that looks like Noct is not Noct. It's this guy named Morgan. And
Noct's brother.
yeah, and the real Noct is actually this cigarette smoking delinquent.
With blonde hair. Long blonde hair.
Yeah. Mr. Crawling in my skin over here. He's really just like, right back at you, moron. And that's where the chapter ends, is that we learned that Noct was a bad boy back in the day.
I feel like Japanese, you know how like everyone has like stereotypical views of different races and cultures depending on where you're at.
Mhm.
This is what people think all Americans are like. This is what they are. Like, we all smoke cigs.
We all look like
And
Axl
we
Rose.
just like, man, we don't give a fuck about nothing at all. We're gonna do what we want and waste all our lives and knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's fair. That's cool.
Honestly,
We gotta hold that. I'll hold that. That's fine.
the way this chapter was structured, I thought that it was a pretty good bait and switch where it turns out Noct was not Noct the entire. I guess after this guy, his brother dies, Noct starts to look like his brother. I guess in tribute and joins the Magic Knights.
Definitely bottles his look after. I don't know about Axe. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, definitely modeled his look after him exactly.
Yeah.
Dyed his hair black.
Yeah. Painted black.
I guess he stopped smoking cigarettes. Good for him.
I mean, yeah, you gotta quit, man. That stuff will kill you.
Oh yeah, it will.
Yeah. I mean, I was shocked. I mean, it really did take me by surprise. I was like, "Who's this new guy? What happened to him?" And it turns out, it's Noct. But I'm into it. I'm into seeing what happened in Noct and what caused him to.
What happened to his brother?
Yeah, what happened to his?
That nigga's not around no more.
I mean, you think he's okay? You think he's alive?
I don't think so.
I sure hope he didn't die.
I think he gets smoked by somebody.
I sure hope he doesn't die a tragic death that causes Noct to change his mind about how he's been acting.
Well, I think it's a highly original idea.
I think so too.
Incredibly unique. I can't remember that ever happening in another series. So
No.
super points.
No, never has the death of a loved one spurred on someone else. So respect to the Black Clover creator for that. Respect to Tabata for that one.
Yeah. Let's don't get it twisted. I'm being super sarcastic and shit, and so is Chris. If you already know.
Sure.
But it was a really fun chapter. I thought it was cool when he was fighting the devils.
Yeah.
He's honestly putting the whole entire world on his back right now.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'm gonna buy time for these kids to pull up and win, and I'm just gonna take this L."
Yeah.
It's alright. Cool.
Yeah, I'll say this
Down
about
for
Noct. His designs for his forms are all really cool too. They're very distinct to his character, but they all look different at the same time. I appreciate that much. But yeah, fun chapter. Not my RGC this week, but not a bad chapter at all. Are you ready to close this out, Josh?
Hell yeah, man.
All right, thank you guys so much.
It's been a rough one.
For listening. This has I've had internet troubles for a little while now, and it's gonna make this episode a nightmare to edit. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. You could find me at the Chris Espinal, Josh at JDCole_37, Brian at B.ESP, all on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review. Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora. We're on a lot of platforms, so look us up.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Let everybody know what it is. It's New Jump City. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.